Okay, so once you knew that a dinosaur was a bird, once you knew, explain that to me. How's a dinosaur a bird?
A dinosaur,
or it's just, I mean,
well, scientists and paleontologists have proved that T-Rexes had feathers and they were more related to birds than reptiles. I think scientists found out that that's where the missing link between birds and reptiles was. It was between dinosaurs. That dinosaurs were in between reptiles and birds. A T-Rex would probably be a combination of an eagle and a lizard. They said you only see little patches of scales and not too many scales. Like the dinosaurs from Jurassic World, they say they look nothing like how they're supposed to look in real life.
Oh, okay. Just what the world think they should look like.
Yeah.
No, don't take them. Okay, so you were saying, go ahead, finish. So once you looked up herpetology,
I looked up what is the study of reptiles, and it's not just the study of reptiles; it's the study of reptiles and amphibians. And when I was younger, I was used to catch snapping turtles and frogs, and I was always scared to hold them. I was never scared to hold the frog. I was always scared to hold a snapping turtle. I caught my first snapping turtle with a shoestring and a piece of pizza, and my cousins was the ones who picked it up. I never picked it up. I just touched it on the head. I was just so scared of it. But that was the moment when I got into.
So you never touched that turtle that you caught like that?
No, and I want. That's why.
You that's why I begged me to bring it home. Like you really.
No, not that little one. Not that little one. It was a big one. It was a snapping turtle. Not the little. Also, you saw me holding that little fire turtle thing.
No, I'm talking about the one you called and said y'all found it.
I know, and you came. You
saw when I picked you up from your grandma's house.
Yeah, and you said I couldn't keep it, and when I came back, I actually had already let it go.
That was the big one or the small one?
That was the small one that I wasn't afraid of.
Stop that, please. You need
that I wasn't afraid of food. I gave it to Sai.
And you see what happens, Sai in school. We're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, stop fidgeting with that because it's making noise.
Okay. But that's why I always want to go to a lake again so I can get that chance to catch another snapping turtle and catch it and touch it. Because
because you're not scared anymore.
I'm not, because this guy named Coyote Peterson. His YouTube channel is called Brave Wilderness, and he goes out and catches these things. He gets bit by them intentionally, and like he has 8 million subscribers, and that's when I was like, oh, so my channel can be big. Because usually you will find animal channels with like 7,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, which is still a lot to me. But he has 8 million subscribers, which is like, okay, well, channels can be big like that. And I want to still be a kid and have a big channel.
Right, that's your goal.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that mean to you, being a kid with having a still being a kid with having a big channel? What does that mean? Like, what would your content be?
My content would be how I would set up a reptiles tank, my herping videos, me going out to catch reptiles like Coyote Peterson. It would be, as I get older, I would probably get into more extreme stuff, maybe like caimans, but when I'm a full adult and I start my YouTube channel, then it would go into alligators and Komodo dragons and the warrior wasp and stuff like that.
Okay, but as of right now, your YouTube content, for people that are not subscribed, what would you like to tell them to make them subscribe to your channel? What is something cool and interesting about your YouTube channel?
Well, I definitely can't go out and catch an alligator at the age I am now, or the size I am now. But the neighborhood I live at is pretty. It has a lot of nature. It has a lake. It has a lot of things that I can go outside and catch a lot of reptiles. And when I'm not doing that, you'll see Draco, you'll see Slinky, my Savannah monitor, and reptiles that I will get.
So what are some of the things you do with Draco and Slinky?
One cool thing that a lot of YouTube channels don't do, I like to test their intellect and how smart they are. So like, I saw this one guy. I looked up lizard races, and they weren't that cool. But one day I came up with the idea to put maybe Draco in a maze and see if he could escape. And then like a year later, I'm on YouTube, going through reptile videos, and this guy made a video and how he put all his leopard geckos, like 5 leopard geckos, in a maze, and they escaped out of the maze. One of them was named Houdini, the one that escaped. But now I have a savannah monitor, one of the world's most smartest lizards, a monitor. I can finally do stuff with her. I can make a little box maze and watch her escape. I can do tricks with her, and I can train her. Draco, he's already pretty trained. He's really nice. He doesn't bite. So, he's not that active. All he does is sit down and sleep. So, now that I have an active reptile, I can do more stuff with.
Yeah. True. So, answer me this. How does this relate to school and education? And
well, with public schools, like in DC, they mostly deal with is most of the kids there. They when they go outside, what they want to do is they want to play basketball or football, or just stand to the side and talk. That's what I usually would do, is just stand to the side and talk, because, well, when you go outside, I don't want to play basketball and football, which I used to play football, but so an experience I had was when I played football. It had like woods around the field, and I saw a deer, and because it was always lizards going against the trees, and I saw one deer, and my coach told me, come play football. You could look at the animals some other time. I was like, okay, well, that's what I want to do. I don't want to play football. I want to go look at the animals.
And you were like, I spent all the time looking at the animals.
Yeah, and the next year, you asked me, did I want to play football again? And I said no.
Yeah, because you were not showing interest in it at all.
No.
But when it comes to like education, do you feel that in a public school setting, or even in just that's all you've known is public school, do you feel that they cater to how you learn, how you should learn, the way you comprehend, or even your interests? Like, how do you feel that it caters to you at all?
I feel like all DC schools that I've been to have always been the same. They've always taught the same. They've never taught differently. They've been like, solve this problem on the wall. Work it out on your paper, and if you don't do that, you have to do it all over again. So basically, in history class, in history, read the book, write down the information, and then do the test with the information you have. The next day, you got to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, occasionally, once a month, you'll watch a flick of CNN, which was like, it's still the same thing. I mean, teachers, they'll still put on a little movie or something, but
it's still the same content you're saying.
Yeah. I've seen, there's never been a different movie that, each public school, they've played the same movies that year. The next public school I went to, they played the same stuff, maybe in different order.
Mm-hmm. So, what's wrong with that to you? Like, what's your issue?
Nothing. My issue is this: it's never any change. It's nothing different. With the kids,
you feel like you're not learning.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, and it's just dry. It's nothing. It's like, most of the time in science, it's stuff I already know. They can't, like, I wish they could go deeper into it. You
wish they can go deeper into science.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But when kids, with people my age, they're not into stuff like this. They would think it's weird and stupid. Like, they would rather play basketball and football than go outside and pick up like, they wouldn't. I think science is fun. I don't think sports is fun. Like,
you don't get no satisfaction out of sports.
No, when people they watch basketball game, I think it's just a guy throwing the ball to another guy to get to the other side of the ground, to get to the other side of the field. When I see basketball, I see people throwing a ball into a net just to get a point. And like with reptiles, when you chase them, you gotta do so many things to catch them. You can make different traps to catch them. You can make different terrariums when you keep them as pets. You have different experiences with them. You can be bitten. You can snuggle with them. They like There's so many things you can do with them, and it's just the
I know
same
you
thing
like
with
to
football.
snuggle with yours.
Yeah, but Draco, I don't like snuggles like you.
Just Draco.
Mm-hmm.
He shows you love.
Yeah, but with football, and just like school, it's the same thing over and over again. I mean, maybe someone will catch the ball differently, but you're still catching the ball.
It's a system.
Yeah, it's a system. Mm-hmm.
And you feel stuck. You don't feel any form of freedom to express yourself.
Yes. See, with the reptiles, Draco, he does something different every day. He sleeps some different part. He doesn't sleep the same way every day. He doesn't eat the food the same way every day. Like,
he's constantly evolving.
Yeah, he's constantly doing something different.
Mm-hmm. I like that you pay so much attention to him. Like, you really do take good care of them, I must say. What would be your ideal learning environment?
I'm not going to say with kids that are like me, because that would be that would be hypocritical, I would say. Kids like that would be kids. That's because that's what other kids would want people. That's what other people like. That's what other people my age want, is for kids to be like them. I don't want kids to be like me. I just want people to be different. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't mind that people like sports. I mean, it's just that that's what everyone likes now. Everybody likes sports, and everybody wants to do sports. And not everyone can do sports. And when you can't do sports, you have nothing else to do because you never put any time into that.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to do sports, I might not get in, so I'll still have herpetology to do.
Gotcha. Right. Understood. And which is a wider range, to experience versus it just being on a field or on a court,
Yeah. But when I go back to school environment, when you say school environment, I want an area where...
Wait, listen, because we've done public school and you really, really, really were not with it. So we did homeschooling. How would you compare? How do you like homeschool?
Homeschooling, it's my environment. So when I say my environment, I have Draco with me all the time. I have Slinky with me all the time. I can stay comfortable. It's never a teacher with homeschooling. It's never a teacher telling me to do that the way everyone else is doing it.
Exactly. Very well put. That's a very good way to explain it. And how would you feel like going to high school? Do you feel like homeschool would be beneficial, or you want something more interactive?
See, that's the thing with me. I like to be social with people like me.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can't be when someone talks about sports, I never know what to talk about with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone is into reptiles, I can say, oh, my bearded dragon's, his crest is this size, his tail is this long, he goes this fast, he's missing a toe there. But with sports, you talk about the same thing. You saw how he caught that ball, you saw how fast he ran. It's always the same conversation every day.
Right. So going to high school, what would your high school life be like? Because I know you wouldn't want to do homeschool for high school. I know you were just frustrated with public school when we came across homeschooling. It was the perfect fit at the time, but you want me. You want me, Drake. So how would high school life look for you? Your ideal high school, like...
My ideal high school is something where they don't make their students learn the way they want them to learn. If a student has a different way of learning, then they'll let them learn that way. They'll adjust. They'll adjust for them.
Meaning the school and the faculty and the staff actually adjust for the student.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When they won't. I want a school that teachers won't get. See, another thing with public school, a teacher will get mad at a student if they complete half of their work. They'll get mad at that student for not completing the other half. Mm-hmm. Teachers in public schools, they tell you to skip over a question that you don't understand. When you skip over that question, they'll skip over that question, but you won't get it done, and they'll be like, "Why didn't you do that question? You told them to skip over it."
You'll still get penalized for doing something that they tell you to do.
Yes.
So the high school realm, you would rather it look like what? Like you said, just meeting the student where they are. I feel like it also has to be in a way to like prepare you for college. And what do you feel about college?
College, because there's so many different personalities in college, but it's always.
Do you look forward
It's always
to
a football.
Yes, how do you want? No, okay. So I understand. You know, it's always centered around football. So what would your college experience be like? If it's just ideal, perfect in your mind, what would your college experience look like? And we about to finish up soon, so just finishing up the conversation.
What would my college look like?
Yeah. Like, because I know you feel like with learning, you can't do it in the field. Like, what if your college experience could be you being a herpetologist? Like, you being out in the field, you learning hands-on in nature and being graded for that.
If it could be a college where I can go out and catch reptiles, and I'll get extra credit for that, and bringing in a reptile and showing the anatomy, showing the different body parts of it.
That's focus on what you're focused on.
Yes.
And not really textbooky.
Yeah. I mean, textbooky things, it's always the same things. Just like public school.
It's nothing new.
It's nothing new. You just write down what you learn from the textbook. You memorize it. Get ready for a test. You fail it or you pass it.
Right. Just cut plain and simple.
Yeah.
Harder code. Well, I want you to know that I've been doing a lot of thinking about when it comes to high school and college too. And I don't ever want you to feel slighted. I don't ever want you to feel like you're getting the short end of the stick. I know you have a very big mind and you're open to a lot of different opportunities, but I also know what you really want to do, where your passion is, and what it is that you really want to do in life. And by any means necessary, I'm going to make that happen. I'm not going to restrict you because we can't afford a school or we don't live in a certain part of the city, or I'm not going to hold you to those boundaries. So I want you to know that I'm knocking down every barrier and I'm knocking down every door, and I will do all that I can to make sure that you are receiving the education that you not only want but you deserve. I feel like every child with your potential deserves to be taught how they need to be taught. And you are very much a child with great potential. And I know that one day, I don't know in what capacity, but you're going to change the world to some degree, to some extent. I don't know how. You may save every last reptile and make them all have homes or something. Like, I don't know what. Please explain to me. Okay, since we did high school, college, like, what would your ideal like home be as an adult? Because you're gonna move out of my house and take all these critters with you. But what would your ideal home be?
I would definitely have a reptile room.
I'm talking about like environmental wise.
What do you mean by that?
Like what would you want your home to be in the environment? Like, I'm trying to get you to get
like with city or like.
No, not necessarily with city, but what would you want it to be surrounded by?
Nature. Definitely somewhere secluded, away from noise. Like, when I said city, I mean like I don't want to when I wake up, I don't want to hear cars or alarms. I don't want to hear people yelling. Not like New York or DC. Mm-hmm. But still, I want to have neighbors and people. I want to still have a barbecue outside, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But somewhere like here, but my own space. I want to live on top of a mountain, but and people.